to you.
And hello everybody, and welcome to another Free Choice Friday video. And today, the last football video I made was the AFC and NFC championship rounds and the playoffs, and then the Kansas City Chiefs have become Super Bowl champions. And I just want to say, I predicted both of those games exactly how they went, and I also predicted the correct champion. So, I mean, I'm not bragging, but I'm bragging. But anyway, my favorite team is the Packers, and that is exclusively who we are going to be talking about today. So, the Packers had a very, what's the word? I don't want to say surprising necessarily. We had an uplifting season, I'll say that. I had high hopes because I thought that our team was looking pretty good, but a lot of people didn't. The thing that surprised me more was how much the Bears were just terrible. But then again, the Bears are always terrible. So, I don't know why that surprised me. But yeah, the Packers won their division, and they ended up going all the way to the NFC Championship game, where they sadly fell to San Francisco. But now that the season's over, we've seemed to have assembled a pretty good puzzle, but we're going to have to lose some pieces to get a possibly even better puzzle. So, we are going to be looking at our draft picks and our free agents. So, first off, let's start off at free agents. What do the Packers need to do this offseason in order to have enough cap space to be able to go and get some guys out of free agency? Because that needs to happen. But also re-sign key players. So, first off, we're going to start with wide receiver Geronimo Allison. After being extremely overhyped prior to the 2019 through 2020 NFL season, he really didn't impress. He didn't do much of anything. In fact, he looked like he was probably one of the worst receivers on our roster. He was dropping passes. He's not that fast. He's not that athletic. Geronimo, you've helped Green Bay in a lot of ways throughout your career, but you're just too inconsistent, man. I think the Packers should let Geronimo Allison walk. Next, we have tight end Mercedes Lewis. This guy is a very curious guy. He's a bit of an older player as far as the NFL goes. He's been in the league for a long time, and I'm going to be real with you. I really like this guy. The main reason is because he can block for our amazing running back Aaron Jones, but also because he's not known for his catching, but what he was able to show last season was that if you throw it to him, he can catch. I think that the Packers offense needs to trust Mercedes Lewis here a bit more, because he can block, he can catch. From what I saw, he looked like an amazing route runner. He was okay as far as speed goes. He could catch and he could block. So I see no reason not to re-sign Mercedes Lewis here. I believe that the Packers are going to cut Jimmy Graham. Apparently, he's not an unrestricted free agent. I thought that it was, but apparently not. The Packers are more than likely cutting Jimmy Graham to save some money. First, who knows what reasons. He's the highest paid tight end in the NFL until George Kittle asks for money after his rookie contract's up. But I think that the Packers should keep Mercedes and cut Jimmy Graham. Now, to our offensive tackles here, our three offensive tackles. Brian Bulaga don't even have to think about it twice. We need to re-sign this guy. He is one of our best pass protectors, one of our best run blockers. And Aaron Rodgers and him have that chemistry. He's just playing at the highest level of his career right now. Some could say that he had 2 better seasons, but in my opinion, he's playing about as good as any tackle in the league. Now we come to offensive tackle Jason Spriggs. Who is this guy? Yeah, no, dude. Well, it depends how much he is, but I'm going to assume I'm going to play it like we either need to keep Jason Spriggs or Jared Valdir. And Valdir, he didn't think he was going to play actually last season. He was watching the Packers beat the Bears that very first NFL game, okay? He didn't think that he was going to play. And at the end of the season, we needed some offensive tackle depth. He didn't think he was going to play still, but Balaga said that he was injured or sick or something, and Valdir actually had to come in for him, and he did an amazing job. So, not only do I think that this guy could be a starter in some places, not Green Bay because our tackles are amazing, but I think he would make an amazing backup if the price is right. So cut Jason Spriggs, keep Valdir. Inside linebacker Blake Martinez. As much as I love him, he's a tackling machine. He seems to be the only guy besides Kenny Clark who can stop the run on our defense. He kind of gets burned in coverage a lot, and he's going to be costing the Packers a lot to keep him. So sadly, I think it's probably the best thing if we let Blake Martinez walk. Now we come to inside linebacker B.J. Goodson. Obviously, the Packers need to draft or get an inside linebacker in free agency, but since neither one of those things are like a given, I think that we just need some sort of existent depth, and also B.J. Goodson's going to be real cheap, so keep him. OLB, Kyler Fackrell. Let's see here. We have Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, Rashawn Gary. All 3 looked amazing last season. In fact, Zadarius and Preston Smith had the most combined tackles in the league. And Rashawn Gary is looking like a very promising player coming into his second year. So, sorry, Sackrell. You've done some good in Green Bay, but it's time for you to go. Cornerback, Tramon Williams, the old man who got a pick 6 against Brett Favre. He's been with the Packers for a long time, and our secondary is still very young. I think that he's going to give us a hometown discount as well, so we'll probably be able to get him for pretty cheap. I see Tramon Williams being in Green Bay next season, and I think that it would be a very good thing that he be in Green Bay because we still need Adrian Amos and Tramon Williams to kind of raise up these youngins. And also, Tramon played at a surprisingly high level last season. I really liked how he played. Every time the Packers defense got burned, Tramon's name was never in the mix. But next we have safety, Ibrahim Campbell. This guy was supposed to be the Swiss Army knife of our defense. He was supposed to play cornerback, safety, middle linebacker, you name it. He didn't impress me that much. He was injured for most of last season, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It's very, very hard to make an assumption of him, but from what I see, it's not worth keeping him, so I would just cut him. So, now that we've talked about who we should let walk, who we should cut, whatnot. By the way, he's walking, not getting cut. I keep mixing up the two. That's a very beautiful man right there. I thought Matt LaFleur did such a good job in his first season as head coach, by the way. Put in the comments below if you agree with me, but in my opinion, he did an amazing job. This was his first year, and he had very, very limited play calling experience, and while our play calling wasn't the best, I thought that it was definitely very good for his first year. So let's look at the Packers draft picks 2020. So round 1, we have pick number 30. And everyone wants us to get the receiver. And you know what? I agree with them. I don't know what these people are thinking. Okay, we have... Let me list off our receivers. Gmo's going to be gone, okay? I want to start off with Davante Adams, okay? Obviously, he is a legend, top 3 receiver in the league. We have Equanimeous St. Brown, who did not get to play last season because he got injured in the preseason game in Canada on the 80-yard field against the Oakland Raiders. Is it worth it, NFL? But anyway, yeah, we don't know at all what we have with this guy. He got very few reps in his first year as a rookie, and he was injured all of last year. For all we know, this guy could be a star just waiting to break out, or he could be an absolute draft bust. Who knows? I just want to see more of this guy before I'm like, okay, we need to move on from MVS. We need to move on from EQ because we still haven't seen very much of them. Now, we have seen more of MVS, and he is looking like a bust. The dude can run fast. He's also Butterfingers. Aaron Rodgers seems to get mad at him a pretty good amount because he doesn't appear to be very good at route running. But then again, I remember when Davante Adams came to Green Bay, A-Rod was always yelling at Davante because he was mad at him because he wasn't running the right routes, and look where he is now. We have Jake Kumro, who unfortunately we're probably going to cut, but the guy plays good whenever he's on the field, and he's a surprisingly good blocking wide receiver. If I'm the Packers, I am keeping Jake Kumro for sure. Unfortunately, I'm not, and I think from what sources I've read that they are going to cut him. But yeah, if I'm the Packers, I would love to keep Jake Kumro. So, also Allen Lazard, out of Iowa State, he went undrafted. It's kind of a Cinderella story because he was supposed to be a early to mid-round draft pick because the dude was a monster at Iowa State. He didn't get drafted at all, and he thought that was extremely disrespectful. He went to the Jaguars practice squad until he was re-signed by Green Bay 2 seasons ago. He worked his way up from our practice squad through preseason camp. He had a very good showing, and by game 1, he was originally on the practice squad, but by game 2, he was on our starting roster. Or not our starting roster. He was just on our roster instead of our practice squad. So, I mean, the guy in the first Lions game, he proved to be really good at blocking. He ran a great route and made a great catch, and the awareness was off the charts when he went to the end zone. I want to see more of him because I think he could develop into a number 2 guy. So no, I do not want to take a receiver for our first round pick because I haven't seen enough of our current receivers. If they all prove to be bad this season, okay, whatever. Dump MVS, dump EQ, whatever. Dumped Kumro if he's bad, you know. I still haven't seen enough of them, so please, Packers, do not take a receiver in your first round. In our first round, we need to work on something that we need, like more depth at cornerback and more depth at inside linebacker. Maybe a defensive tackle wouldn't be too bad, because we do need to re-sign Kenny Clark as well. There's just, I mean, we're going to re-sign Kenny Clark, but we also need probably another D tackle. So, you know, I won't mind a D tackle round 5 past. They can take a receiver rounds 2 through 4. I really don't care. But for that first round pick, I really hope that they pick the best inside linebacker in the draft because that is what the Packers need. We may want some more depth at running back because there's a possibility Jamal Williams won't be with us anymore. But yeah, there are so many other positions that we need to work on. than wide receivers. And you know what? I get it. Aaron Rodgers, he has very limited time left on him. I realize that if we don't do anything about our receiver situation, or if they don't get better in the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to be in trouble because A-Rod may not be with us by that time on our team. Let's hope that that's the way he's not with us. But yeah, I just don't want them to take a receiver for the first round pick. Take something that we actually need. Anyway, did you guys agree with me? Did you disagree with me? Put down in the comments below, and I'll catch you all on the next wave.